Shalom. Okay, so today I have time and I want to speak about why Yahuwah hates Esau. So in Malachi chapter 1, verse 3, Malachi wrote, "And I hated Esau and laid his foundations, his mountains, and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." So Yahuwah said he hates Esau. But let's read the full context of why he said that. So first of all, Malachi is a prophet, and a prophet hears from Yahuwah. So these words came to Malachi directly from Yahuwah. Malachi verse 1, chapter 1. The burden of the word of Yahuwah to Yisrael by Malachi. I love you, saith Yahuwah. So right away, Yahuwah states he loves the Israelites. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? So basically, it's like we're asking, how have you loved us, Yahuwah? Basically, look at the predicament the Israelites are in. One might say, really, Yahuwah loves us? Seems like we're a curse. How can we tell he even loves us? Well, he replies in Malachi, was not Jacob Esau's brother? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahuwah. Yet I loved Jacob and hated Esau. Okay, so Yahuwah loved Jacob in the womb and hated Esau in the womb. Now, neither of them did anything, they weren't even born yet, and Yahuwah loved Jacob over Esau. One might ask, is that fair? Is that fair that Esau never stood a chance? Well, it's a fair question to ask, because this is what people would state, that it wasn't fair that Esau, right away before he did anything, he did not get love from Yahuwah. And when you read the story, the historical accounts in Genesis about Jacob and Esau, and I believe it's either Genesis 25 or Genesis 23. It's in that vicinity, and you can read the story of Jacob and Esau. I have it on my website. If you look up the word Esau or Edomite on iThoughty.com, you'll get information about the history of Jacob and Esau. And so I'll just finish reading the verse up to verse 5, and then I will go into why Yahuwah hated Esau when he was born. Okay? And so, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people whom Yahuwah hath indignation forever. And your eyes shall see and shall say, Yahuwah will be magnified from the borders of Israel. So the Edomites are example of a people whom Yahuwah hates, and the Israelites are supposed to be an example of a people whom Yahuwah loves. So the Israelites are supposed to be uplifted and exalted, and the Edomites are supposed to be, below us, basically our servants. But this is not the situation. This is not the situation we're in. This is because Yahuwah uses the hand of man to punish the Israelites when they sin. And so the one who hated us the most was our own brother Esau. Okay? And so it was because of him that the curses were so hard, because he hated us so hard. And because of the way he hated us, he's going to be punished extensively. So, first of all, it says, Jacob I have loved, and Esau I have hated. We do need to have the knowledge that Jacob is the man whom Israel was first called. Jacob is the name that Israel was first called, and he basically fought an angel, and his name was a Baruch. It was a blessing. The angel named him Israel, and the Israel is an uplifting name. Jacob It comes from the Manakati word yi aikab, and basically it means like grabbing somebody's ankle. Basically, it's like saying to take over. It's the name is like a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Yi aikab is a metaphor for like taking over someone's position. Because Esau was born first. Jacob and Esau were brothers. Esau was born first, and as such, Esau had the birthrights of the father. So Isaac received the inheritance, the promise of Abraham. Esau was supposed to get that promise, but he went to Jacob, and essentially Jacob deceived Esau and stole it. But he wouldn't have been able to deceive Esau if Esau didn't value, if Esau valued his inheritance and his birthright, Jacob wouldn't have been able to steal it. So I wouldn't say Jacob stole it, but he did deceive him in that way. But we allow ourselves to be deceived when we are deceived. For example, I made a video, was it last week, about addiction. Our addiction causes us to be susceptible to witchcraft, and witchcraft is about deception. And Jacob did use deception on Esau, but it was destined. It was destiny. Jacob was the one who was really chosen, not Esau. But he was born second, and it's just to show that if you're meant to be the one, even if you're born second, you will be the one. And so, who is Esau? Esau was created to be the wicked one, and Jacob was created to be the chosen one. When Yahuwah creates us, he knows who we are. He knows our past. He knows our present. And Esau was made to be the evil one, and he was made to have a destiny, the future that he's going to have, which isn't a bright future. And so the scriptures does speak heavily about Esau concerning his doom day and the fact that his people are going to be annihilated. It says this in Obadiah. If you read the whole chapter of Obadiah, it's one chapter that focuses on Esau basically being punished for what they did to Jacob. Now, we have to look at Yahuwah. Yahuwah has the power and control over good and evil. He created good and he created evil. Okay? He's not who you think he is. The idea of Yahuwah in your mind is not who he is. He is who he is. He made evil and he made good. So if Esau is evil, Yahuwah made him this way. He made it to do whatever he plans on doing with him. He made use of Esau. So Esau was created to be used, basically. He was created as an example, kind of like how the Egyptians were used by Yahuwah to show the world how powerful Yahuwah is. When Yahuwah hardened the Pharaoh's heart, it was only so the curses can go upon the Pharaoh and his people, so Yahuwah can show how powerful he is. And so the Egyptians were used, and Esau is also used. Let's read Proverbs 24, verse 19 to 20. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked, for there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. Proverbs 16 and 4. Yahuwah hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked, for the day of evil. So Yahuwah said in Proverbs 24 that don't worry about the wicked, his candle will be put out. But then in Proverbs 16, he said he made the wicked for the day of evil. So he made Esau for him to be put out. Okay? Because in Obadiah, it says he's going to be, quote unquote, put out. But let me not get in my head of myself. The righteous were also made to show the glory of Yahuwah. Isaiah 43 and 21. This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise. So the Israelites, we are supposed to be the ones who obeyed Yahuwah. Unfortunately, we did not show that example, but that is also for a lesson, because like I said before in numerous videos, Ezekiel chapter 16 does state that Yahuwah is going to marry two other wives. These wives are nations, okay? The wives is metaphoric, like for nations. He's going to make a covenant with two more nations. So the Israelites will have allies, okay? And the reason why Yahuwah is going to take two other wives is because Israelites were not faithful to Yahuwah, okay? But it's part of the example. We could have been the only one, but we were not faithful. Yahuwah knows our past as well as our future. He created you and I, and so he knows what lies in our hearts because he put us together. That being said, he knows Esau's end. Esau is wicked, wicked as hell, and he will not live long on this earth. His seed will be no more. Esau's future is bleak. The promise Isaac gave to Esau was like scraps left over. And when you read the historical accounts in Genesis about the promise that was given to Esau, which let me see if I can grab it. I'll grab it right here. I will have a link of this video and all the scriptures. It'll be in the link in the description so you could check it out. And so Jacob received the promise by deceiving Esau. And then Esau, then Esau comes to his father and he seeks a blessing. And this is the blessing of Baruch that Esau had received. If you go to Genesis, looks like it's Genesis 27. Let me grab it. Genesis 27. Okay. Genesis 27 verse 30. This is the Baruch to Esau. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end to blessing Jacob, that Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, and that Esau his brother came in from hunting. So basically Isaac thought he was blessing Esau, but in fact he was blessing Jacob. And then Esau comes in and realizes that Isaac already blessed Jacob, thinking it was Esau. So Esau was supposed to get the blessing. Isaac preferred Esau. Verse 31. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father arise, eat of his son's venison, and that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said to him, who are you? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that had taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all before thou camest and have blessed him. Yea, he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with great exceeding bitter cry and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, my father. And he said, thy brother came subtly and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, it is not he rightly named Jacob or Jacob. So basically Jacob is translated as surplanter, but in the Manakati, the hand sign for Jacob is grabbing your heel. It's like this. This is the hand sign and you're like grabbing it. So Jacob, essentially, he's called Jacob, and his name empowered him to take over. But that was the prophecy that Rebekah received. Rebekah said that the younger would serve the elder, okay, and the younger would rule over the elder. And so it was Jacob's destiny before they were even born. Okay, let's see. Go back. Where was I? Okay. Okay. And verse 36. For he had supplanted me these two times. So the first time that Jacob deceived Esau was when Esau came in hungry and Jacob was cooking some food, and Esau was like, give me some food. And Jacob was like, no, give me your birthright. And Esau was like, you know what? I'm about to die. If you don't give me this food, take my birthright. I don't care. So Esau set himself up. When Esau did not care about that birthright, he already gave it away. And it ended up being Jacob's destiny. And this was Esau's fault. Esau sold it. Esau sold his birthright for his ancestors for a bowl of soup. Unfortunately, it's really despicable that he did that, but that's what he did. And Esau only has Esau to blame. Esau made that decision because, he's a fool. Oh, that was just a foolish thing to do. Verse 37, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy master, and all thy brethren have I given to him for servants, with corn and wine, and I have sustained him. What shall I now unto thee, thy my son? So basically, Isaac, his father said, I have given Jacob everything. What is left to give you? So basically, there's really nothing left to give Esau. So Esau ends up getting scraps, like I mentioned, and we'll review what Esau gets. And Esau said unto his father, thou hast thou not one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and cried. And Isaac, his father, answered unto him. So Isaac must have been thinking, okay, what can I do for my son? I love my son. Let me think what I can give him. Let me be creative. Isaac gets real creative. And this blessing that Isaac gave Esau helped him to break the yoke of slavery that Jacob had over him. Okay, so this is the blessing, verse 39. Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven from above, and by thy word thou shalt live. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. So this is a blessing. Doesn't sound like much of a blessing. He's going to live by the sword, and he's going to serve his brother. It doesn't sound like much of a blessing, but he utilizes this to break the yoke because he has the power of the sword. And unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword. And so when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So the blessing was that he was going to live by the sword, but that also means he's going to die by the sword, because it's a double-edged sword. And so anyways, and it came to pass that thou shalt have dominion. And it shall come to pass that when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Because Isaac gave him the power of the sword, Esau was able to break free from his enslavement, from being a servant. Because for many years, his people, the Edomites, they were servants to David. They were servants to the Israelites. They were below the Israelites. But the power of the sword, when the guns and the knives became more manufactured, it was more available, Esau gained power, and he utilized his desire for gaining those things, and that was essentially his blessing. So having the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven means that he basically lives off the land. If you notice, Edomites, they love to camp. They love to go hunting. They love it. They do it for fun. They kill animals for fun. It's just what they love to do. And it's part of their blessing. It actually what empowers them. That's what they have. We have Yahuwah. Okay, the Israelites, Baruch is Yahuwah, but Esau has the power of the sword. And this is how you can tell who the Edomites are. I'm gonna finish this concerning Esau. I'm gonna finish reading, but I will talk about how do we know who Esau is. Why did I say something went wrong right here? Okay, I don't know. I had a little message here. Something went wrong. I don't know if my video actually went through, but I pressed. I think it should be fine now. Hopefully the video will go through. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself here. But anyways, I'm going to continue reading. Okay. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father blessed him. Okay. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning my father are at hand, because Isaac was on his deathbed and he was going to die. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. So basically, this is why the Edomites hate us. And the Edomites are, I don't want to say white people, okay? Because number one, they used color to divide us. They used color to trick us, okay? It's not about the color of your skin. It never was about the color of your skin. Racism is a new idea, is a new thing. It's about who they are, and they are the wicked one. It's not about the color of the skin, because that would be stupid. There's nowhere in the scripture where people were discriminated by the color of the skin. You know, the Israelites passed as Egyptians, but you know that the Israelites was enslaved by the Egyptians. The Egyptians didn't care that the Israelites looked like them. They didn't give a damn. And it's the same thing. Let's give another example. Black Irish. The Black Irish are the people who are Black Irish, and some of them are black, and some of them look white to you or me. Some of them look straight up, when I say white, they don't look black at all. You wonder why they're called even black. But their ancestors are Israelites, because the Moors were in the land of Ireland. Not the Danites were in the land of Ireland. Shalom, shalom. Yes, yes, yes. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. And so what I want to say is, there are many people who are Irish, and they call themselves Irish, but they know that they're Black Irish and they look so-called white. There are people, they're Danites. You might not accept them because of Jim Crow and whatever's in your mind, but their ancestors are the same as someone else who looks black, and their ancestors are Danites. And so what I'm saying is, it doesn't go by the color of your skin. You might look at me and wonder, what am I? Okay. I'm not an Israelite because my hair is woolly or because I have a little tan. No, that's not why I'm an Israelite. I researched my ancestry, and I am from the house of David. My people, there are records for my people, and some people you can find your records. And if you are Black Irish, or you have a last name that is what it has like a Irish last name, like some people are O'Brien, some people are how, like, that Coming to America movie, how the black family owned the McDowells. You see, like, McDowell, it's a Black Irish last name. I'm pretty sure it's a Black Irish last name. Many black people in America, they have these Irish last names, and it's kind of weird. Some people are called Green, which is Irish, and they're Danites. And you can visit a website that was down, but I was able to get it back up. Hebrew Israel. I want to check it. Hebrew Israelite culture.org. I want to confirm that that's the website, because sometimes my website gets taken if I'm not watching. Okay, it's HebrewIsraelite.org. My husband does tribal identity. He does it really extensively, and in the beginning he was asking for like $29, $30, but he takes like 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks to do this, because when he researches the ancestry, he really digs for information. He tries to find recent people in your lineage based on your information that you give him. Sometimes he can find it on your last name, and sometimes if you have taken a DNA test already, he's been studying this and researching this for the longest. He has access to the slave records, to oral traditions, and he just puts it together. The website is HebrewIsraeliteCulture.org. You'll be able to order it. It looks like it's not working right now, the tribal identity, but you can get your tribal identity. He's asking for $59.97 because it just takes him too long. He gives you a whole certificate. It's not a piece of paper. It's like documents. He gives you all his findings. It could be 30 pages, could be 8 pages, could be 20 pages. All his findings on your ancestry. You could do the research yourself. You don't need my husband to do it. But he can't dedicate 2-3 weeks looking for your ancestry and only get $30. He's just dedicating too much time, hours upon hours. And so it's just fair. It's investigation. You're basically paying for him to investigate your ancestry. You're giving him basically a gift. And You don't have to. You can research it yourself. Anyways, I just want to give you that option that if you don't know your tribe, you can find out your tribe. So I don't want to digress. Who are Israelites and who is Esau? First, this subject is about Esau. Esau is the so-called Caucasians, but it's not because you're white. Okay, I say Caucasians because that's who they call themselves. Okay, great, great. From South Africa, that's great. Yes, yes. What tribe do you think you are? You say you're Lumba. Is that the Levites? Yeah, I have a comment here. Someone saying they're from South Africa. Okay, he'll tell me his tribe. I pretty much kind of know, but let me see. He said probably. Okay, probably Levites. Yes, I think you might be also. But I don't do the tribal identity. My husband talks about it a lot, so I'm always hearing about it. So you know, I know a lot because I'm hearing it, but he's the one who has all the information. I've been telling him to make videos to teach people. He just procrastinates the hell out of these things, and if I'm not there next to him doing the videos, it won't get done. So I try to put out a lot of his information, but it's like he needs to be the one to do it. Can't be me. You see that I'm doing a lot. So I don't want to digress. Who is Esau? You don't judge by the skin, but a lot of people who are white are Edomites. But I don't want you to be deceived. There are black Edomites. Who's a black Edomite? Well, when a slave master slept with an Israelite woman who was black, they gave birth to black Edomites. So just because you're black doesn't mean you're an Israelite, because black Edomites exist. And even if you're, let's say someone had mentioned in the comments, India. Let's say you're in India. Just because you're in India doesn't mean you're not an Israelite. Just because there are some of us who are in there. There's opportunity for everybody on earth to be an Israelite if their father in their lineage was an Israelite. Okay. Usually you can tell by the curses if you're an Israelite, because the curses will be hot on you. Like you'll see you're down and out. Your people are struggling. You're a byword. For example, Black Irish, I'm going to use that example. They're called black, but black is a byword, right? It's not something good. Why are they distinguishing regular Irish with black Irish? This is because they want to make sure that the people in Ireland want to make sure that they know, look, these people, they might look like us, but they're not us. So they do that to distinguish themselves from those who are Israelites. And so they're a byword. Gypsies. Many people who are gypsies, they're Israelites. And you see gypsies, they're down and out and they struggling. And when you look at them, you might say, oh, they're white. No, they look white, but you're judging them by their skin. You can't judge people by their skin. And just because you're an Israelite doesn't mean you're righteous. Let's look at that. But I don't want to digress from this video. This video is about who is Jacob and why Yahuwah hates Esau. So to run down, he hates Esau because he made him to be the wicked one. He made him to be used like the Egyptians were used, and all the things that he did, all the wicked things that he did, he's gonna get paid for it. Oh, I do want to read the things he did, because Esau was. I'm not done. Like I don't know why I kind of. Let's see here. I want to talk about all the things he did because he was really wicked. Esau was really wicked, and the things he did to the Israelites. It's written in Obadiah, but Esau is wicked. And so let's see here. Obadiah chapter 1. I'm just going to read Obadiah because it's getting good information. Obadiah chapter 1 is only one chapter. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahuwah, and an ambassador is sent among the nations. Arise ye, let us arise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, and thou art greatly despised. So basically, the Edomites, they're not great in number, which is interesting because in America, they call black people minorities. This is basically witchcraft. Okay, they using verbiage to make us think that we are not that much in America, and they divide us by different classifications, and so they want to make it appear that our numbers are small. But let's look at the whole Americas. The second population with the greatest numbers of blacks is South America. South America is filled with blacks, but when you watch these movies about South America, they don't show them. And in America, you might watch them. You might watch a show, for example, Friends. Friends was located in New York. Yet where's the black people in Friends? That was the whole thing online. Where's the black people in Friends? It's in New York. Obviously, there's black people. They don't show it. And it's just like Boston. When you go to Boston, I'm from Boston, so much black people. Like, you think that it's like mostly black people, but when you look on TV shows and when they do documents, like, where you don't see them, you think, oh, it's a white city. But when you go there, you see all kinds of nationalities. And so we're being we're just under some witchcraft, utilizing the media. They use videos like the TV shows to make us think that our numbers aren't there, and our numbers are there, and they call themselves a majority of people, and they're not. So the so-called Caucasians, they're not majority. They're not majority of people. No, they're not. They are minority. Okay, and Obadiah chapter 2 confirms that. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou dwellest in the clefts of the rock. So the Caucasians are said to come from the Caucasus Mountains. Now, white people, they didn't come from the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, they came the same place where the Israelites came from, because they're brothers. Okay, but the reason why they call themselves Caucasians is because they think that people who come from the Caucasus areas, they're the prettiest white people, and so they have connected themselves to them. So that's why I say Caucasian. But we know their history, where they came from. Jacob and Esau are brothers. They came from the area of the area where Abraham was. Okay, the land of Canaan. And so, and by the way, the clefts of the rocks, Edom made his home in the clefts of rock. I'll put a link. I did a whole video about the 15 reasons why the Caucasians are Edomites. That right there, I'm not going to go over their identity, but that video right there proves who they are. And I will put a link in the description up towards that video. I worked so extensively. I think that video is an hour long. It shows who the Edomites are and why. 15 strong reasons. If you believe the Edomites are somebody else, I've made that video, and it's really extensive. You should watch it. Okay, so I'm going to continue reading Obadiah chapter 3. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Who is the most prideful people on earth but the Edomites, the so-called Caucasians? Okay, they think that nobody can mess with them. This is why there's so many Karens in existence. They have all this white privilege. White privilege is a real thing, and that's why being called white is basically a status. It's nothing to do with skin color. You can come from Italy and be my skin color tan or brown, and you can still be called white. It's nothing to do with your skin. Okay, you can have white status and even be black. Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, they have white people status even though they're black. Okay, so the whiteness is a status. And by the way, whenever there's controversy concerning our people, Oprah never speaks up. Michael Jordan doesn't speak up because they have a white status. There's really nothing to do with them. They've been uplifted. They don't want their status to fall. Like, look at Bill Cosby. His status fell. He ended up like one of us. His status was reduced. They used a transgender man posing as a woman to take him down, which is really a slap in the face, as if Bill Cosby would want that white woman. Anyways, I'm not defending Bill Cosby, okay, but they do hate us, and they will bring down our they want to bring down our nation, and those who have a legacy of doing good things. Like Bill Cosby, he did have a legacy of doing good things. They will destroy that reputation. Anyways, let's get in there. So they're very prideful. The Edomites are very prideful. Okay, my messages on my cell phone. Okay, let's see. Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, Caucasians logo is the eagle, and I wrote that made that in the video, 15 reasons why um, the Caucasians are Edomites. Okay, the eagle logo was in the land of Edom. The eagle logo was in the Romans. They love their eagle. Okay, white people, they love their eagle. Those who are prideful in being American, they always have in that eagle. So Esau, pure Esau, they hold on to that logo, the eagle. Okay, and remember, one of the blessings of Esau was that they have the dew of heaven and basically the air. They have the power of air. That's why they fly planes, and they master warfare in the air because they have the power of the sword and the air. That was part of their lesson. They were really strategic in utilizing their blessing that Isaac gave them to take over and get dominion. Okay, so they must have studied it. They know who they are and they know who we are, and that's why they hate us. Okay, let's see. Thence I will bring thee down, saith Yahuwah. Verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his secret things sought up? So basically, Illuminatis, for example, they've been hiding. They didn't want us to know what they and the nefarious things that they're doing, but all their secrets they end up getting told. So Esau has been hiding in because he deals heavily in witchcraft. The video that I made last week was concerning witchcraft and how it's heavily used. They deal heavily in witchcraft and deception. They don't want you to know the truth because the truth can set you free. Okay. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the borders. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. This is a prophecy. And prevailed against thee, and they shall eat thy bread. Wait, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahuwah, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of Mount Esau? So these scientists and these people, for example, the people who are saying, for us to take these vaccinations, I shouldn't say that word, for us to do things to our bodies. I don't want to get deleted from YouTube. Yah said he's going to cut them off. Okay, let's see here. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end. And Teman, by the way, are the Russians. To the end that every one of the Mount Esau may be cut off by the slaughter. Not all Russians are Edomites, because there are some Asians in there, and there's other nations. But I'm saying the ones who are Edomites, they know who they are. They're Teman. For the violence of thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So the Edomites are going to be cut off. Okay, I'm just going to read this comment. I wonder why people say that as if Jacob stole from Esau. It was prophecy told to her. Yes, it was prophecy. It was definitely prophecy. That's what they said. But Esau sold his birthright for a meal, and so he set that up. He has only himself to blame. But Jacob is called the supplanter. Jacob is grabbing the heel and taking you. When someone grabs you by the heel, it's basically saying they took out your standing. It's like metaphorically, if you grab somebody's heel and you pull it, you're basically taking away their position. They fall and you're standing. Okay. Kind of like Achilles' heel, when you hear about that story, how he hurt his heel or something and that took him down. So the heel apparently helps you stand, and Jacob took down Esau's heel. So verse 11, in the day thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou um, wast as one of them. So basically, the Edomites helped the other nations to destroy us, and they were our brothers, and they weren't supposed to do that. And so that's why Yah is coming down hard on Esau. Remember, in our laws it says we're not supposed to abhor an Edomite. We're not supposed to hate the Edomites. But unfortunately, that law, you know, unfortunately for Esau, that law is no good because of what they did to us. Okay, and this is why Edomite Obadiah was written. Verse 12. Thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother and the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou spoken proudly in the day of distress. This is why they're getting punished, because of what they did. Okay, let me read what you said. You quoted the prophecy, but then you turn and say that Jacob did something of his own accord. I said basically the scripture says. The scripture, Isaac said that Jacob came and deceived Esau. Isaac said that, and I quoted those words. And then I corrected. I don't know if you was here for the whole video. Then I corrected myself, and not myself. I corrected it and said that it was because Esau sold his birthright. And, Jacob did deceive. Let's not lie. So you're telling me, the comment, Shemaiah, you're telling me that Jacob did not pretend to be Esau? Because him pretending to be Esau means he deceived. He did deceive, but it was meant to be. Jacob did deceive. And so he did deceive, but it was meant to be, and it was okay. Hope I answered your question. Rebecca had Jacob to do what was done. Yes, Rebecca did help Jacob because it was his destiny. Rebecca was the one that was told the prophecy of the future, and she knew. But Isaac was in denial, and Rebecca was told. So yes, Rebecca helped, and yeah, obviously it was meant to be. So I'm not in a disagreement with you, but Jacob did deceive. Let's not lie about that. He pretended to be Esau. Neither should thou have stoodest in the crossway to cut off those that did escape. Basically, when the Israelites was in slavery, for example, in South America, they would escape, and then the Edomites would try to chase them down. That happened a lot in America, in North America. But they weren't supposed to try to come after us after we escaped. Okay, Yah was allowing them to be free, but they came after us, and they weren't supposed to do that. So their slavery was extreme slavery that they did, and that's why they're going to be punished. Many so-called black people, they like to forgive white people or the Edomites for what they did to us, but it is our responsibility to get revenge for our ancestors for what they did. They're supposed to pay. They can't get away with what they did. They can't get away with that, and it's not righteous for our family to it's not righteous for our family and for our people to just forgive them. We can't forgive them. Even if we wanted to forgive them, it's not going to forgive them, because Yah is all about judgment and righteousness. Yahuwah said for us to seek judgment. If we forgive Esau, we're not being righteous. We're not righteous at all. We can't forgive Esau. It's not on the table to forgive Esau. And so some of us who are friends with Esau, it's really not something you should really. Be at peace with your enemies, because sometimes you gotta use them, and but at the same time you can be at peace with them. At the same time, you gotta be wise. So there is no hope for Esau. Job chapter 21 and 30. That the wicked is reserved for the day of destruction, and they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. So Esau was made for the day of destruction because Yahuwah made him to be wicked. Last scripture that I'm going to read is Psalms 137. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captives required us a song. And that they that wasted us required us mirth, saying, sing the songs of Zion. Like this song, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Some have said that is Hebrew. Okay, Kumbaya. The fact that they said Kumbaya, is obviously that it's the original tongue. They made us sing those songs, while we were in slavery. So we were definitely speaking our original language, while we were in slavery. Okay, there's evidence of that on certain old churches' walls. You'll see the ancient language on the walls, and so we did speak our language. And how shall we sing the songs of Yahuwah in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy, remember, O Yahuwah, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it to the foundations thereof. So this is what the Edomites said. They were happy, exceedingly happy for the Israelites to get into slavery. They wanted revenge. Remember, Esau said he was going to come after Jacob. And, truth be told, David almost annihilated the whole Edomites. It's not really a surprise that Edomites were coming for us. Verse 8, O daughters of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. So right there says that the Edomites are the daughter of Babylon, because this whole thing is talking about the Edomites. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. They took our babies and threw them on the stones. They fed them to alligators. They brag about it. They burned some of us alive. They need to get what they did to us. An eye for an eye is judgment. And so that's my video. Does anybody have any questions or anything to say before we end this? I'm trying to see if doing live videos will help me to get the topic and the information out, because I already wrote a post about this information. The link of all the scriptures will be in the description. I just wanted to do a live video and get information out. I want to see if this will work out. If you guys like it, I will do more live videos for the topics that I put out, because it seems to be quicker that way. I don't have to edit anything. All right, shalom. I'm going to see if I can do another topic and see if this works out. Shalom.